What's up, guys? It's your boy GRC. This is Crypto in the Morning live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern. There's 56 chats. Hold on, let me scroll up real quick. Good morning, everyone. Terrafin first in here. Good to see you. Unkawil. Great to see you in here. Where is Crypto Vince? That is the question of the chat. Where is Crypto Vince, guys? Hey, if he wants to jump in at the end, I'll be it. I have never been able to get. I've actually asked him to come on stream before, so he owes me a little hop on Lizard. Good morning. Can't wait for the song. It's a bop. It is a bop. That's DeFi proof. Crypto in the morning. Official. I don't know, music guy. DeFi proof's my man. That's all I know. And his bangers are, it's my girl Jenna XRP. I want to hear someone say, "What are you talking about?" I don't know what you're talking about. Torin, great to see you in here as always. Monica Mofit Meals, Bit Finesse, Black Hex Kid. Good morning, everyone. R23 in the house, guys. I can't read anymore. I'm done. I'm scrolling to the bottom. Sorry, guys. Tea Time. Have to say hi to Tea Time. Facing Reality. Guys, what is up? This will be an interesting one. Yes, me and Sam want to learn a little bit more about XRP because we know it's all just a bunch of futters and hex anyway. So might as well have this opportunity with someone that already experienced, that understands this a little more intimately. Because if you mention anyone that made any money on hex XRP, they just tell you to basically go fuck off. And that's what they do with everything. So it's not just XRP. It's like, I bought a Pokegon and hex is going to zero. So, everyone has their say about stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like there's people that present themselves on the internet, and those people are important to make connections with too. We're all in crypto. It's like if there's cheap fees and good premiums, people are going to want to learn about it so we can all just work together. There's a lot of technology going on. You got to open your mind a little bit. And Jenna, me as well, everybody. Like sometimes it's hard to get out of the bubble because that's where a lot of your financial growth has come from. But at the same time, there's so much technology coming out. We're so early. I want to learn more. We're going to pick her brain a little bit, guys. DeFi proof, 1 minute, 9 seconds. I'll be back.
You already know what time it is. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. 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 Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hex and I'm making a stay. Got me some hedge and I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim Renner sent me to show you the way. Crypto in the morning. 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 Crypto in the morning.
Yo, hey, Jenna. Good morning. How you doing? GRC, great to see you. I'm excited to have this conversation. I'm excited to learn about XRP. I had people telling me about XRP years ago before I decided to actually focus on crypto. And I was like, yeah, cool. It's cool, right? But I wasn't like ready to focus on crypto. But I have never actually talked to anybody who fully understands XRP. So this would be a good conversation. Jenna, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing amazing. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm not a dev, but I can definitely talk XRP.
Sweet. Can you get into your story of like how you got into crypto and like all that kind of stuff? I don't have any.
And just for reference,
context.
guys, just for reference, I don't know XRP Jenna other than this morning. I think the first time we talked, I'd ratioed her on a couple pretty nasty tweets that I was sending when I was drunk, I'm pretty sure. But like it was all fun. Like in the morning I would just I'd be like, we're all just joking around. We're all wrecked in crypto right now. So if everyone's just throwing haymakers all across and that's if she's been on Twitter for a while. So I didn't have to wonder whether she would care. I knew she wouldn't. But yeah, tell us a little bit about how you got into crypto at all. Like just because let's be honest, it's not so often that a younger girl just gets into crypto. Maybe it's getting a little more popular, But it's just that's just not the age demographic that's there. Like 20, I don't know any 20-year-old, 20 to 33-year-old girls that I know. I don't, maybe one or two of them have interacted with crypto that I met. So, and those are just the numbers. So how did you get involved in this? Have you been a little bit on the savvy side on the internet before?
Sure. So I got in about, I think it's 2017. I know Bitcoin was around 16,000 whenever I heard about it. And actually one of my friends told me, and I was like, okay, I've got to figure out how to buy this, because they were like, oh, you have to do it. There's a certain way and you've got to go here and you've got to be careful. And I'm like, fuck. So I started asking some of my friends and my clients, like, hey, have you heard about this? And finally one of my girls was like, yeah, my husband does this. So she's like, come over. She had a barbershop. I went to the back of the barbershop. Her husband taught me how to set up a Coinbase and just taught me some ins and outs of security. And then I was able to make my first Bitcoin purchase. Now, obviously, I sold it because I didn't know what I was doing and watching market cycles. And then about like 2018, I was like, you know what? Let me look at this again. I started buying in XLM and XRP. And then 2020, I really went down the rabbit hole when my friend from the NSA was like, hey, Jenna, she's like, you got to check this out. XRP is getting sued. Well, Ripple's getting sued by the SEC. She's like, buy as much as you can. They're taking this off of Coinbase, whatever. And my friend's the NSA and she's super smart. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm in. So then I just started researching and went down that rabbit hole. And I haven't come up ever since. And honestly, I never thought I was going to see these prices again to where I had my first buy-in, which was at like 31 cents for XRP. So I'm happy to actually see that again, to pack the bags, because I know what I hold. But yeah, like I love learning about the XRPL projects now. I can tell pretty fast what's shit, what's not. The NFT projects, like there's a lot of really good ones. There's also a lot of shit. But who hasn't had their experience with NFTs? I don't do much Ethereum. I had bad experience with crypto pills last year. It was the first and last NFTs I'll ever buy on ETH.
What was it called?
Crypto pills. They were the worst pills I've ever bought. I didn't even get high. They sucked.
What they were like weed pills?
Pictures of pills.
Yeah, like Misha Klein did them, and he's like this Eminem like guy. He created Mr. Pillman or whatever.
Probably just a pill with arms and legs, Sam.
Yes, that's what it was.
Variations of, and you pick which one you like.
Listen, I was calling up my friends in the middle of the night. I'm like, you got to get one of these. And I'm really sorry to my friends that I did that. I made FOMO. I'm like, no, this is the next thing. You're going to be able to buy an island if you have one of these. Like, listen, this will change your life.
That marketing team, I need to get in contact with that marketing team ASAP. They know what they're doing. Clearly,
it was a clubhouse room. It just like sucked you in.
What was the exact story at the time? Because this was ginormous news at the time. That's kind of belittled now. But when XRP, that lawsuit, that was like the first, I guess, like huge lawsuit that was like breaking over the news about something in crypto that was actually profitable already. So like people had made a lot of money on XRP, I'm pretty sure at that point. So what happened? Was it just the first lawsuit that got a lot of publicity and then it created some sort of buzz that?
Yeah. So basically what it is with that is XRP a security or not? And, Brad Garlinghouse technically could have settled this and just paid a fine to get out of it, but they wanted to have regulatory clarity in the space because we're really lacking that. And so they decided to go for it and just fight this thing the whole way to become, basically the standard. Like XRP will be the standard in crypto.
And the guy you just said who could have settled this is the person behind XRP, I'm guessing?
Brad Garlinghouse is the CEO of Ripple, and they could have settled. They could have taken like a settlement. They could have paid a fine, but they wanted to challenge, the SEC and everything and just take this further to make sure we do have clarity in the space. And I think that's
in hindsight, do you wish they didn't, or do you just like the way it's going?
No, I mean, I don't like the way it's going. God, I wish this would have been done a long time ago, but also the holders know, like we know what we hold. And I think that we're all just very patiently waiting for it to be over because then we can finally move on. And even if worst case, like let's say XRP would become illegal in the US or they do deem it a security worst case scenario, then they'll go take their like headquarters over to Dubai or somewhere like that. Like it doesn't just rely on the US, but until we have like regulatory clarity, we can't see institutional money come in. And that's what we're waiting for. We haven't even begun to see institutional money flow into the ledger yet. That's what's really going to pump that price.
So I wanted to ask about the lawsuit and see where that's going, but more so just in that space.
I'll pull up some updated information too, just in case she hasn't kept up with it while y'all are talking.
Thank you.
She probably has, I would bet. If you're,
well, I mean, you know, there could be news.
No, but yes, correct. I agree.
You know, every 30 minutes in crypto these days, there's new news now.
So XRP is its own blockchain, all right, which you just informed me beforehand because I don't know anything about XRP. Now, over in the microcosm of crypto that I've been paying attention to, there's new shit launching like every fucking day. Are you experiencing the same thing over there?
Yeah, there's people building on the ledger all the time. And Ripple also has a grant program where they've been giving out hundreds of millions of dollars to devs to build on the ledger with all different innovative ideas. Like one that just came up that I was researching all night last night, that because there's literally so much to try to keep up with, but if you get them early, you can really make out on these gems. If you know, they have their legal opinions, if their company's set up, if they're legit, you have to look through all of these things. But I found one that's super dope. It's VerseX, and what they're doing is a Web3 e-commerce. So you can go into the metaverse, you can set up your business, you can shop, and you have your own avatars, everything. So you can sell your services, you can sell regular clothes and just ship it out. And they have a game, which is super cool. So I'm really down the VerseX rabbit hole. And then I just found out, like right before I hopped on here, I went and bought some VerseX because I saw I can stake it on StakeX, which is another platform that we have, which is really cool because tokens that you hold of some of these projects, you can go and stake them, which it's not real staking in a sense, but it's STAYK. They've developed their own form of getting airdropped or rewards of these tokens, however you want to put it, every day, which is cool. So if you're a holder of it, you just go connect your wallet. I want to stake this. Super simple. It's like 2 steps, and then you get your rewards every day of that token. It's awesome, and it really bumps the price up too and creates value of these projects over time.
So you're seeing new projects launch like very regularly in that community?
Oh my God, yeah.
What is your take on the macro sense? So if you look at crypto.com, they have like their annual state of the nation for crypto. And they estimate that there's around 4% of the world population that owns crypto. So around 300 million people. And if you like look at adoption curves of technology, adoption curves always follow like an S curve, right? So they start out really slow and then the fucking shit gets faster and faster until maybe like 70, 80, 90% of the world is using it. And we're at like 4%. And if you look at historical adoption curves, we're right at that cusp before like your mom and my mom and stuff like that are getting into crypto. And what is your take on all of this? Because it's interesting to hear your point of view from another land of crypto where you're also seeing exactly the same thing, right? Yeah. You're seeing this massive amount of like new projects coming on the market daily or weekly or whatever.
I totally agree with you. But honestly, I think like gaming is what's going to start bringing mass adoption to crypto, and also like our NFTs with real world use cases, but it has to be to the point where it's easier than a MetaMask. Like we have a Zoom wallet, but it has to be simple. That's the thing. If we want to bring in people, a lot of them don't want to put that time forward to learn. So I think whoever's coming out with
I have my quarrels with that argument a little bit, just because, you know, it's not necessarily to me about what's easier. Like if you have a kid that has never learned anything and you tell him to set up a bank account and do this and set up or whatever, do anything, and you put him in front of a computer and say, go to xrp.com, press the click app browser and put in your number. And then, so it's really the same. It's just about adoption and marketing.
Sure.
So to me, it's just about mass marketing. Like if XRP was on the news, my mom would be finding out how to buy it pretty easily. If Hex was on the news, my mom would figure out how to stake it pretty easily. But it's like, who is going to push us to that point further? And I love Richard Hart for a lot of those reasons. You know, like everyone has their say on him, but he wants to make it big. He wants to try to punch hard. And that's what I think that's what he's doing, trying to get on. And I think that's XRP's obviously done a good job at that too. People only know about like 6 cryptos, and one of them is XRP. Like random people know about
market cap.
Yeah, and it's like one of those coins where it's like people know people that buy it a lot of the times don't even know what the fuck it is, and that's cool. That's fine, right? Like we even in Hex, we're all like, if you don't know it and you stake it and it's good, like you're safe, like you're fine.
Well, I think a problem with XRP though is it has been on the news. It's been on the news a lot. And you'll see like when they're talking about central bank digital currencies, they'll put up the Ripple symbol. And, Brad Garlinghouse has been on speaking a lot. They're opening tons of jobs. They've been out there, but people don't think that they can buy it in the US, which isn't true. Like there are exchanges where you can buy it, like Uphold or BitTrue, Mandala.
Is it that hard to buy in the States?
Yeah, people think it is, but it's not. And if you're
I
in
know, but that's not good. That's hard. I didn't know that
Yeah.
about that. I didn't know in the States you had to go to those other. So how many? Name a few that you know of, if you can, off the top of your head in the States that people use.
They use Uphold, they use BitTrue, you can use KuCoin, I believe still, but you can use Mandala Exchange. But to use Mandala, you need to get like NordVPN if you're in the US because they have it geo fenced out. And that's like simple. That's all you need to do to buy XRP is like get a VPN.
That was interesting because I have heard on a real estate podcast that like somebody called in, they were talking about XRP on this real estate podcast. And he was like, yeah, you can't really buy it or whatever the case is. So, and this is probably, 16 months ago or something. And I was like, okay, cool. XRP, I've heard about it again, right? But you can't buy it. And the person's like, yeah, you got to go through this weird fucking thing or do this other thing. So my perception is that you can't buy it, but are any of these decentralized exchanges or they're all centralized ones?
So I know that Mandala Exchange is a SEX, but they run on Binance Security, so it's super, easy. But it doesn't matter. You can buy it there and you can send it to your ledger. Like you don't have to keep it on an exchange. And I don't. Some people will stake it, but just with all of the exchanges going down and everything that's going on, I don't. That's why I like StakeX because I can just do it right from my soft wallet with my tokens. I don't have to move them onto any exchanges or anything. So I don't know. I'm just not too trusting of keeping on exchanges right now.
Yeah, we don't do any exchange keeping on this panel here. I
heard that.
I keep nothing on a exchange. I would never. It's stupid. They're just waiting to steal your money. They want to steal your money and they're waiting for a liquidation event to happen so they can have an excuse to steal your money. And it's just unfortunate because you see with these 95% dips, like you're just going to get liquidated. People don't know enough about the market cycles. You have to know a lot about the market cycles, which takes the longest amount of time because you have to get wrecked.
Yeah.
You have to get wrecked. Most people have to get wrecked. I got wrecked. Everyone gets a little wrecked here and there. And that's why, but there's easier ways to get wrecked. Like there's better ways to get wrecked. And that's why we always want people to buy a little at a time. Like people that put all their money in and leverage trade and do stuff like that, they're just fucking their lives up really bad. Really, in my opinion, like when it comes to leverage trading and stuff, unless you're just doing it for fun with the smallest amount of your fortune, if you already have some. When it comes to XRP now in the lawsuit, it's like, I guess it's just still active lawsuit. Like it's nothing settled.
Yeah, no, not yet. It's a lot of back and forth. They're trying to get like Hinman emails released, which God only knows if that'll ever happen. And it's honestly just back and forth. But the SEC really is not doing a good job. But they just keep appealing it.
But this could the lawsuits are dragging out. You look at what happened with Mount Gox, right? And they're just now, right? What was that, 2014 to now?
Just now, but not yet. Just
now, but not yet, right? Correct? Like hopefully some people will get their Bitcoin back. But
right.
I got the not yet for 3 Mount Gox victims. I got the not yet from, and I DM'd them all, people I know that were up in Mount Gox at the time, and none of them have gotten their coins. If you have gotten your coins from Mount Gox, I'd be curious to talk to you about that because I'd like to do an episode on that, if possible, the actual getting back of the coins.
How do you feel about that though? Because like this it's already been several years of them being in a lawsuit. Well, could drag on for 5 more years.
No, honestly, the best person to get the legal briefs from is attorney Jeremy Hogan. He does a great job every single time that there is they have a court date and a hearing, whatever. He just goes and explains everything in layman's terms of exactly what's going on and how long it'll last. Some people think end of this year, some think beginning of next year. Either way, it's really small price to pay. What did everybody do whenever Tesla was getting sued? They went and dumped their stocks, right? And then it shot back up again. So it's like, you can't worry about it. Like, I would love to buy the fear on this because I do believe that it is all the money.
What is the value prop of like XRP to like what is the elevator pitch to me of XRP? Like
So
because there's a fucking 1,000 different networks out there, right?
yeah, right. So it's being looked at for CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, whether your thoughts on those are negative or positive, either
So
way.
basically, but that's just telling me to stay away from XRP
Why?
because I don't want anything to do with like fake crypto that my government comes out with.
It's not fake crypto. It's very
not XRP. I'm just talking about like their digital yuan, right? Like China already has theirs out, right? The US is going to come out with theirs,
right?
I was just giving you a hard
more
time.
alluding to like the natural premise of like a lot of people in crypto wanting everything to be decentralized, right? As much as possible.
You guys are kind of public blockchain.
But I know. But you guys are playing off the premise that you'll get picked up by basically the Fed and it'll just be helicopter money. But again, that's good for XRP people. So it's just a different play, you know, like it's more so just it's a different play, but you're just playing on adoption. You're setting themselves up to be a use case for the adoption that they know is coming, and they're hoping it works out. And I mean, that's all you can do because we're so early in crypto, and that's why they're doing the lawsuit, I guess, because they're just realizing like if this is going to work out, we're going to have to figure it all the way the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. But it's like, who holds all the money? The central banks, like the Rothschilds. I forget how much. I think they hold like 8 to 10% of XRP. Now, I think the Ripple stock would do tremendous, but you have to be like an accredited investor to get that off of Link 2. So I think based on the technology and the growth of Ripple and RippleNet, like I think that'd be a really great stock to look into as well. But yeah, I mean, it's cross-border payments. So literally, it's so fast, it's so cheap, and that's why people love it. It's so easy to build on.
As far as the tokenomics are concerned, like separate from everything that they built on, do you know enough about that to explain it to us? Or, I mean, I don't know exactly how it works. So, what is the point, and like, does it have any deflationary? I mean, does it have any pieces to it that make it more bullish just automatically?
There's 100 billion tokens and no more can ever be minted on it. And so I know that there was a huge thing like where people were like, oh, they keep dumping on their people and everything like that. That was Jed McCaleb. And he's almost done, I think, with his taco stand wallet of dumping all of that because he could dump like, I don't know.
And that's to be expected too. I mean, in every project.
Yeah. I think half of the supply is like circulating, but you can pull all that up. I mean, I know the tokenomics are solid, but no more can ever be printed. I don't know why people are saying it's inflationary. I don't understand what they're saying, like how they get that.
Is somebody in the comments? Let's see what some of these people are saying. Title of the movie.
Depending on the rate of inflation, it just depends how they're phrasing it. I mean, even if things are like, there's a lot of people that would say Bitcoin is inflationary too, in direct proportion to the inflation rate, if you know what I mean. Like, because the inflation rate's so effing high that it's like technically at this point, like I think that's what some people mean. But if anyone has any more insight on that, and
like I have a question for you with Hex though, and the use case of it. So is Hex used, like, would you actually use that for payments somewhere, or would you just use Hex to stake?
No, Hex is more just a store of value.
So yeah, like Bitcoin is a store of value.
Mm-hmm. There's great inflationary coins, deflationary coins like that. So that there's so much nuance there that even like XRP has survived. In crypto is enough. It really, really is. It does not matter what anyone says. Nothing survives in crypto. Nothing. Like there's like 6 things. You saw Terra Luna go to 0.
Yeah.
But you saw Celsius go to 0 and then come out with the fucking fork, and then the dude just lied to everyone right in his face. While people like Richard, intellectual guys, were like, "Hey, centralized stuff. They can take your shit. Richard put his hands in the air. He says, "I'm not telling you what to do with your money, but I can't take it over here, and they can take it over there." That was his major point. It's like there's admin keys, and that's something that I learned as I got more. You know, I've only been doing this for 2 years, so I think that XRP has similar. You know. It's legit. Like no matter what he says, I don't care. I'm Cardano, things like that. They're just like the last things to exist. And a lot of these things have a lot of use cases. Like in the future, when tech is booming, they're not always necessarily like the coin that just goes straight up in price because that's designed in a way to do so. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Somebody just asked, why does XRP cost $20 to open up, or 20 XRP to open a wallet? I think it's down to 10 XRP now, and I think as the price goes up, they would actually bring that down. But it's the same as if you're going out to the store and you purchase a wallet to put your money in, same thing. But actually, like if you close it, I think you get that 10 XRP back. And I know each trust line is like 2 XRP to open one up. That's nothing. That's like nothing right now.
What's a trust line?
So a trust line's like, think about use the MetaMask wallet, right? And you go in, you add your contract address, or you go look up, like, let's say Hex to add to your MetaMask wallet. So essentially a trust line is one of the other projects being built on the XRPL. It's their token. So you'd open up a trust line for it, add it to your XRP wallet. Now you can go buy the token, because if you go buy it, you don't have anywhere for it to go.
So it's kind of like if you're using an Ethereum wallet, you're like adding a token to your wallet kind of thing, similar to that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that what's the reason, or like why does that cost XRP?
So it's 2 XRP to open it up, but when you remove the trust line, you get that 2 XRP back. I'm not honestly sure why it works that way. It just does. I think it also helps, though, prevent a lot of scammers and spammers from opening them up just to get airdrops and stuff like that.
Me and Sam are going to do a full video on. Oh, well, I'm not going to speak for Sam, but I'm sure he would like to. We're going to do a full video, and I'm going to look into the white paper and just
definitely do. Please do. That would be super dope.
I do that for every project that I come across because I just like to do so. And I'm going to do a quick shill real quick before we keep moving on with the conversation. Guys, I shilled beforehand. I'm going to shill a little now. Make sure I'm going to drop a link below. Give it a retweet. Tell everyone to get their butts in here right this second. Everyone smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm here every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern. Thank you so much, guys. My bad. I was just reading some comments. Yeah, so you have a YouTube channel. And so you said it was either new or you're just like getting at it a little bit. I didn't look at it yet. Is that something you've done for a while or just a little while?
I started last year, and then I was such an idiot, and I opened the YouTube account under an email for a company I used to work for. So when I stopped working for them, that shit went bye-bye. And I was like,
oh man.
So in January, I had to start over again, but it's worked out, and I'm back to the same amount of followers, if not a few more than when I started. So it's cool. I like to do like XRPL interviews for different projects that are building. I just love to talk to people, but I like to see faces behind the projects. That's how I can tell if somebody is usually legit or full of shit for the most part. And I like to share that with the community.
You mentioned XRP, but then XRPL or something, or you use another acronym. What is it like an ERC20 versus like Ethereum?
No, so XRP is the native currency for Ripple. The XRPL is the ledger. That's what everything is built on, and it utilizes the XRP currency. So it's like you can use Hex on Pulse Chain, because I think Pulse Chain is your own blockchain. So it's like our blockchain.
So the blockchain would be, say, for just Ethereum is how I'm thinking about it. So Ethereum, you're going to use Ether on Ethereum for gas, right? So that would be your XRP, and the chain is Ripple. Is that just to understand the nomenclature?
Ripple's the company, XRP is the native token, and the ledger is the open source public blockchain.
And the one with the L on it is what people build on top of.
Yep, that's the XRPL, the ledger. Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. The nomenclature is different, so I'm just trying to put it together on.
Yeah. And then like to buy a lot of the tokens on it, you exchange XRP for those tokens. So like you would ETH for your ERC20s and stuff like that. Only like with our gas fees, it's like 0.000 whatever. It's not anything. We got spoiled.
When it comes to other projects, like if you really liked another project that was like blowing up and like people were, is that something that you would, or is the brand of XRP something that you have like emotional and like people? Obviously there's people too, like people, right? I'm just asking, I'm just wondering, like like as far as where you're at, I know you might have like business ties too, which is totally fine. Like that's just how life goes. But XRP is really popular, so I wouldn't doubt me at all that you kind of just have your name around this brand. I'm just curious about like where you're at with stuff.
You know, it would really have to make a lot of sense for me to get involved with a project that's not on the XRPL. There's one that I am working with, but they're bridging to the XRPL. And that's why like they're starting off, they haven't minted their token yet. They might be ERC20 or they might be BSC, but I like the fact that they're going to incorporate the XRPL. So I guess honestly, it would have to make a lot of sense, but I really want to stay in the XRP family right now with everything that's being built because I really just love these projects. And I do want to be a voice for them. I did tiptoe through XLM and XDC. The problem I have with XLM right now is that there are so many degen projects on there that it's really hard because a lot of people don't want to put their faces to it. And, you know, I found a lot of money laundering with some of them as we started to look at their wallets and everything. And you just want to be really, really careful, even though I do love XLM and the tech behind it. I know a lot of people in XRP don't care for XLM because of Jed McCaleb. He was one of the founders of XRP before he left and did XLM. But I guess it's possible definitely in the future. I'm not closed-minded to it at all. It has to make sense. It has to be something better than what, you know, I'm into now.
We should work on a bridge, getting some people together for a bridge to Pulse Chain. If I'm sure somebody's already dealt in that realm. But, you know, a lot of the guys that I talk to on a daily basis, they build bridges. You know what I mean? Like that's what they do. Yeah. So, and again, they're doing it to all the other networks as well. Like this, it's going to happen anyway. So again, like all these things are going to happen, whether people like them or not, whether they're successful or not. But like the cool part about crypto is you can kind of make things successful if they're good projects by being behind them and making a good community. If you have some sort of presence online, because we are so new. We're really new. So there's a lot of stuff we can do. And I'm trying to keep my mind open too, like on a daily basis, because I was mainly in Hex and Ethereum and Bitcoin. And now we're going into layer one land where Pulse Chain is going to be what a lot of us are excited about. And that's just a layer one, you know, and what is layer one meant to do? Bridge and build things on. Like that's what they're meant to do. And we're going into a world, whether you like it or not, where it's a multi blockchain world. At least in my opinion. Like, I think there's going to be many blockchains that people like. And just like me and Sam have been completely isolated from your community just because of just how early we are, it's just the same for everyone else and every other community. It's kind of hard to get excited when you've made money in something too. Yeah. I've already made a fuck ton of money on this. You're like,
There's a really good YouTuber who just puts out like really good news and breaks it down. Moon Lambo for like XRP stuff. He just really simplifies a lot. Like I'm not a dev. I can't talk dev, but he's made it easy for me and he just makes sense. So definitely you could check him out.
What are you most excited about in crypto in general moving forward? Obviously, it's probably going to have a background in that, you know.
To become rich.
I want to switch that to like that whole ecosystem NFT thing that's coming about. Like everyone's doing that thing now where they're like somehow immersed into this community. And like you started to bring that up for a second. And I think that's happening over here too, Sam. Like in Ethereum, like this whole like Web3 metaverse kind of shit that
she also mentioned gaming, and I think Tron, I have a buddy who works with the Tron team, and they're fucking super, he's like all into gaming shit, and I just don't have any interest, but I do think it could drive, like NFTs in 2020 drove a ton of adoption into crypto, and gaming could be like kind of like the next wave, right? When you have waves in the ocean, you have like a set of waves that come through, and that one set was NFTs. The next one could be gaming that drives in a fuckload more of adoption into this, right? Because there's a lot of gamers out there. And what if you could play a game and earn crypto or something? But I'd like to hear your thoughts on the NFT stuff and the gaming.
Well, you know, I thought Solana was going to be really, really big for gaming, and they still might, but I just saw they were getting sued. And I had high hopes for they have a phone coming out that's like a gaming phone, right? But if their network cannot support this and they're getting sued, like I don't know.
Bullshit. Solana sucks. Big, horrible, goes down every month. Horrible, terrible. The token will continue to go up in price because I couldn't tell you why, but I would predict so. And it goes down all the time, and people lose their money on there all the time. It's unfortunate because it's dope. It's real dope.
I mean, it's early yet too, but it's the same thing. I mean, they do have plenty of money to fight the lawsuit. I think it's the state of California, and I think it's pretty much the same thing as XRP is to selling unregistered securities, is what I read. So, but with other gaming, I mean, yeah, there's so much in the metaverse, and I think the augmented reality, where people can go in, they can hang out with their friends, but to be able to buy things and bring in e-commerce and stuff like that, I think it's going to be huge. And I think if you're early to it, that's going to be big. But let's talk about like Mark Zuckerberg, bringing in Meta, which they're changing, like really trying to separate that from Facebook, which I think is a great thing, because I don't want weirdos following me into the metaverse there on my Facebook that I knew like in third grade. Like, I'm not interested. But I think that that's going to help bring a lot of people in. I know that they're at a loss right now, but they're projecting that by the end of this year, a billion users will spend at least $100 each. So we're talking hundreds of billions of dollars in the metaverse. So I mean, this is no little deal.
So there's because that's a community that I don't even fucking know anything about. So have you spent time in the metaverse, and have you spent money in there?
I have not yet. The only metaverse that I don't even know if it's real metaverse or whatnot is Zerpcraft, because it's like Minecraft for XRP. So of course I would have messed around with that. But no, I don't have time to go hang out in the metaverse. I think eventually I will, but like I've got so much other shit to do right now, and I'm already an introvert. So I think
until we're getting paid in the metaverse, we ain't going.
Well, I think isn't there a guy that's making money at a Subway in the metaverse?
Like, you can make money in the metaverse, but until they make it easy for Gym Rat to do so, I'll give Gym Rat advice in the metaverse. I'll sell you whatever the fuck you want in the metaverse. Okay, anything, I'll sell it.
You have your own like little aerobic studio where you jazzercise and stuff or whatever you do.
Just like that, I was playing Web3 metaverse back in 2009 when I was playing RuneScape and maxing all my levels and selling stuff on the open market. I remember selling stuff on the open market and going to school and actually getting cash for like stuff that I would sell people. So like I have my gaming days. I remember like and it's very similar in feel. It's just the tech is a lot better. It's crazy. It's just real value shit because people play video games. People like being online, and most of the value that people see in their day-to-day is while they're staring at the screen. So really, it's just as tangible as anything you're holding in your hand, if not more. Unfortunately, I mean, it's weird to say, like, it's not like the best reality I've ever thought up in my life, but it's interesting nonetheless, and it's happening nonetheless. Like these kids, these young people, they're building, they're learning, they're fucking crazy. It's just like like when you play a video game like Fortnite, Sam, it's like a competitive like shooter video game. Like if you go on and try and play, you can't play because the 14-year-olds are so elite and so advanced that you cannot even step into the ring. You'd need 7,000 man hours of playing before you could even get in the same game as them without dying immediately.
Yeah,
so advanced, and it's the same thing.
This is why I never like playing mine. When my brothers would play, you really want to play mine? I'll be like, nope.
It's like unless you put your heart. So there's all these young guys. They're building. They're going to be advanced. People are advancing in this quickly. Devs are coming from legacy over. They're getting paid more over here. Random people are offering them more money over here, and it's been really interesting. See, we actually did a Twitter space yesterday with a casino in a sports gambling decentralized situation for PulsePod.
Super interesting.
Yeah, and I'd love to talk. You mentioned you have a boyfriend that knows a little bit about legality in the situation, and that's really what I want to get into because I need to learn about the legality. Because if I want to think about like participating in something like that, you can come into pitfalls that were not there months in advance when you created the project. And I know about that in the gambling world. It can be intense with the legality.
Right. I know. That's why like he's on me with all these different projects. He's like, did you check this? Did you check that? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay, stuff I wouldn't have necessarily looked at before. And, I look at all of these projects different too. And I'm like, holy shit, there are a ton of unregistered securities running around. But yeah, he would be the one to talk to. I'm sure he'd love to come on and talk to you about all that.
Are there projects? So one of the things about that casino that wants to be like the there's a boatload of like money spent on gambling globally, right? And you can create like a decentralized casino that there's no intermediary that's pulling fucking money off the table or anything like this, and all the winnings minus the tiny bit that's going to the holders or shit, right? Is going to the people playing the game, right? So you can make the games better. But projects like that, there's no admin key. There's only an admin key to update oracles and things like that. On Ripple or on XRP or on the ledgers, whatever the correct vernacular is to describe what they're building on top of. Are there projects that don't have admin keys? Like, there's no way for me to go in there and fuck up your shit.
Oh man, I have no fucking clue. Honestly,
Well,
you'd have to talk to someone developing because I am not sure. I don't know anything about that stuff.
and that's okay. And there is a lot of nuance there with the keys too. Like we learned, or at least I've been learning, like some projects you can't do without admin keys, but the way that the admin keys function with the contract can be a lot different depending on how you build it. So like you can build something that has admin keys, but if you really look into it, like they only have single-sided control and they can't pull out or whatever. Like you can, so there is a lot of nuance between that I'm learning too, because we were preached so much about admin keys from Richard Hart, but at the end of the day, Richard Hart's project is just one that happens to be simple enough where he could pull off to have no admin keys, but most projects are not simple like that if they want to be effective at whatever they're doing. But you need to have some trust. There's always some trust, right? Like you're going to have to trust someone. It's like there's someone in XRP that everyone is kind of like, hey, you've been there for a long time and we trust you. And they're like, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean? There's got to be someone in the XRP community that you guys kind of interact with, I'm assuming. Not like the founder, but like guys up top.
I mean, like that's like CTO, like David Schwartz talk. Like I have no fucking clue.
Well, do they have like internet presence? Do they go on? Do they chat like within their own? Like, I'm just curious.
I mean, they're present online and they'll do interviews and stuff like that. And they host like in real life events like they do at the Ripple House, or they just have one in Toronto. But to just open up Twitter spaces and stuff like that, no, they're not doing too much. And I think a lot of that is because of the lawsuit. So it's very,
that makes sense too.
You have to be really careful.
It's hard in crypto. There's so much nuance, and you can frame things in a way that you can kind of talk shit about anything, right? In crypto, you could talk shit about anything if you frame it in a certain way. If you say this, so you could say Hex has gone up 2,564x since the bottom, but how many people actually held their coins from there? I know some people for sure, but not many. You know what I mean? Not like 500. Well, maybe I'm on here talking to Hex people all day, but the average person, you wouldn't. There's a very limited amount of people that stick and stay through market cycles in general. And you've probably seen that through the years. Like you probably don't. There's probably 90% of the people you knew in the beginning weren't even there anymore.
Right. No, like it's crazy how many people have fallen off from whether it be like Clubhouse or Twitter that I've noticed like they disappear during the bear market. But I'm like, this is when you need to be paying attention because this is when projects are building. And now I'm learning, this is only my second cycle, right? So obviously I'm new here, but I'm learning when to take gains. Like I have long-term bags and I have ones for like, okay, at this price point, I'm going to take X amount. But I think that's really important because it's different for everyone and to figure out where they're comfortable. But if I just make a play on a random crypto and I 2.5x to like 3x, I'll take those gains if I'm not like attached to it or whatever, because I think that's a win, honestly. So,
I mean, increasing your bag, right?
Any US dollar win in crypto is big.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many places where you.
How do you gauge that, or do you kind of like have a framework to be like, okay, if I double, then I'm going to take 50% off, or like where do you have like, hey, this is the idea you want before you go into something, and once you hit that, you kind of pull some, or how do you do that?
Yeah, like okay, so there's some where it depends on what it is. If it's an NFT IOU token, a lot of times there's a spread on it, which is small. This is not for like whales to do, guys. Like you would be fucking bored. But for somebody who's learning how to trade and getting into it, it's cool because you can play the spread, and you know what that means. So that might take a day or two to fill that order. But if it's, a couple hundred XRP in that spread, that's a cool win. Set it and forget it. I'm a horrible day trader because I'm forgetful and I'm impatient. So I do a little bit better with the swing trades or just checking back on it. Like if it's a brand new one, I'll watch it. Or if I see that they're going to have a new listing, I will buy it. Or if I know that they're going to get listed, because then I can have maybe an arbitrage opportunity as well. So that's something that I look for.
What's an NFT IOU?
So we have these on the XRPL where they have minted tokens for them and you can trade them just like a crypto or a stock, right?
Like apes?
Yeah. We
Okay.
have Bored Apes on the XRPL as well. And you can go on. We have ones like X Punks. There's literally a ton, and they're just this token sitting there that's been there for like almost a year with a lot of these projects. But you can trade them because they haven't minted them into an actual NFT yet because they're waiting on XLS 20D. What XLS 20D is just think of like an update for your phone. It's an update to the ledger, which will allow us to have smart contracts and royalties on our NFTs. Right now, we're on XLS 14D. So if you mint your NFT, you sell it once, that's it. You're not going to get royalties from it. It's like a one and done sale. So you can still trade these tokens while we're waiting for XLS 20D to go live, which people like to do.
So an NFT with like Ethereum, you have the smart contract, so you can program in whatever the fuck you want, basically. But it sounded like it might not be the case for an NFT.
Not yet. We're waiting on it. That's our next update, and it literally could happen anytime. That's the thing about, decentralized consensus protocol. We have to wait on all these validators to agree, like, hey, yes, now we can go on with this update. So I think we're at like 80 some percent or something like that. So literally XLS 20D could be ready at any point in time, which is great. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's great with how long it took because we can see which projects are legit and have actually hung around and continue to build versus which ones were just shit and here for the hype. So that's helped.
This is the period of time, like we've been down in the bear market, right, for 8-12 months or something. Might be another year or longer potentially. And you have like who wins during these times? It's the people who are creative and they're continuing to build. They're continuing to apply effort into that space. Like I look at the example of like Binance versus Coinbase. Binance is hiring 2,000 people. They are like one of the larger players, like plus like FTX, that has cash to like bail out all these fucking shitty projects that are like dying, right? Where Coinbase, what are they doing? They're cutting employees. Like, who do you think is going to win in that fucking game as you come? You know what I mean? Like, we're in this bear market,
right?
And one side's like, cutting, let's cut some losses, let's take some money off the table. And Binance is like, let's go balls deep, let's go harder, like let's hire 2,000 employees.
Right, exactly. I think it's just so many people are over leveraged too, like a lot of these exchanges, and they just really fucked up. But like Ripple, they're hiring like crazy as well, so it's just awesome. It's beautiful to see.
Just so if you can't do smart contracts, right, like because so a lot of the stuff on Ethereum has smart contracts. So what I mean, almost all the shit on fucking Ethereum is a smart contract to some degree, right? So from my understanding, and I've been in crypto for not very, very long and continuing to just learn every day. So what do you build? They're building like new tokens with no, please, like I don't know, like because almost every like ERC20 is some component. There's a fucking smart contract.
Yeah, you'll be able to have smart contracts when XLS 20D releases on your NFTs. And that's why the ones that are holding out for it, they'll be able to do that. And like the tokenization of assets, all that kind of stuff, that'll come on that and that's soon. But it's better, in my opinion, to wait on that versus, set up one on Ethereum, have a shit ton of gas fees and everything. And especially if you have people who are coming into the space and new into the space, it's not going to make sense for them. It makes sense for people who are into the game on ETH really early. But like right now, yeah, the NFTs that we have, they're already minted on the XRPL. They're on, if you look at Sologenic Dex, you'll see XLS 14D. And what these are is some of them have different use cases. By holding some of these NFTs, you'll get airdrops of other tokens or NFTs. There's passive income set up by the communities in different ways. Like some of them have a random spinny wheel every month and you can earn more. Some of them are like club memberships. You just have to look into each project individually. A lot of them are just bullshit JPEGs. So it just depends. You want to hop into the Discord. I think that's one of the best ways to research. So
I'm on that Sologenic right now because I'm curious and I want to learn more about this stuff. This is cool. Yeah, there's a DEX, there's a side chain related to Bitcoin called RSK, and a lot of people probably don't think there's a lot of like development happening over there, but there's like the side chain and there's development happening on there, and they have like a a trustless bridge. So like, do
Okay.
you pay attention like on how a
I've
lot of
heard about this stuff, but I don't know much about it.
a lot of bridges have been getting hacked over the last 8-10 months or something, right? And that's like for whatever reason, it's not just always the same thing. There's multiple fucking ways, but whenever there's like flows of money, like there becomes a target for people to attack those. Well, this RSK DEX has like a bridge, so you can, instead of going to take your Bitcoin, you have to go to Coinbase or Binance or some other exchange to switch your shit out to something else. You can go into this RSK and you can come all the way over to XRP if you wanted to. I was like, damn, this shit is cool. So I'm always just curious to learn about that. And I have the Sologenics DEX pulled up. What other cool things are happening that you're like super excited about in the XRP space?
Well, honestly, that's the biggest one. I mean, a lot of people in the XR are blah, 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 blah. in the XRP space are also into like Songbird NFTs and waiting on Flare Network to launch. That's supposed to go live tomorrow, so I'm interested to see if that happens. That's Flare Finance. That's a whole nother ball game. You want to check that out. But a lot of XRP holders did get a Flare airdrop, so that's why they do pay attention to what's going on there. But honestly, I'm really interested in these metaverse games. I'm interested to see, them bringing real world and like e-commerce into Web3. I'm interested to just watch things create and evolve. And I think it's so great.
Do you make most of the money in that ecosystem from like staking things, or just from like shit fucking mooning, or you'd mentioned trading, or like where?
Honestly, yeah, you can make it from shit fucking mooning, but that's why like I have my bags of XRP, like they've been packed into the side, so I'll wait on that. I don't think that it's once it gets relisted on the exchanges. I mean, this is really, really conservatively to say it goes to $10 to $13 from the 34 cents that it's at now. I mean, that's conservative, right? I'm not naive to think it's going to go to $1,000 overnight and this 589 shit like flip a switch overnight. I do think though that, I forgot, XLS 30D is also coming, and that is our automated market makers. So that's also something we have to look forward to. They just started talking about that. But also, no, it's the staking. It's these brand new projects. Like if you go to stakex.com, STAYKX.
STAYK, you said?
X, yeah.
X.
Yeah.
.com or .io or something?
YK. Yeah, it's .com. STAYKX.com. So if you go on there, it's super cool. You would go and sign in with your Zone wallet. You don't even have to right now, but you'll see it home, and then you'll see stake at the top, STAYK. If you click that, these are all the different pairings. Now, it might look really fucking stupid, like a bunch of shit coins to you, but for those of us who have been following and we know what are real and what are legit projects, like if you go to OCW and XBlade, for example, that pairing I got into at the very beginning, that pairing's not going to stop. It gives you what's called STX, which is their rewards token. Now, if you'll go scroll through, you'll notice that you can pair that STX rewards token with all of these other ones and earn more of that token, in which you can exchange for XRP, or you can just kind of keep throwing it back into the ecosystem. But I got into OCW whenever it was at 3 XRP. And now it's at like close to 400 XRP each. I'm not going to say how much I got, but then I earn STX every day. And I got into XBlade at the beginning. And then I turned that STX, like it's earning like 100 or so XRP a day just at the rate it's at now.
Is there like a calculator type thing that kind of gives you yields on any of these?
Yeah, once you log into it with your Zone wallet, that's XUMM wallet, which you can get.
But that's the one you have to pay for?
20 XRP. Yeah, you'll send 20 XRP to it to update, and you'll just literally scan a barcode, log into your wallet, and then you'll be able to see all the APYs on
You have to do this on your phone?
You can keep the Zone wallet on your phone or an iPad, but you can also connect it to there.
Can you do it from your computer?
I don't know if they have Zone wallet to save on your computer. I know I put it on my iPad.
I gotta get that.
Do people use like Treasure and Ledger and like hardware wallets for? Okay. And is it also those same two companies, or is there other other companies that you guys use?
Oh my God, you can like use a Descent wallet for your XRP. I like that because it's biometrics. You use your thumbprint on it, to use.
And that's a hardware thing, like a flash drive type thing where you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Things that I can't find on my ledger, I will use the Descent wallet for. Usually between the two, I can figure it out. Like there's a way to add it. So that's a good one. But yeah, the XUMM wallet is a soft wallet, super safe on your phone. So I keep some XRP there just to play around with these other ones. But if you get in early, I mean, then let's say XRP goes to a couple bucks, you just made out. Like on a couple $100 play, you just made a couple $1,000 just by holding this for a year, however long.
What are some of the APYs in the StakeX .com site? Like, what are you seeing things, 5% or 75% or 157%? Right? Like, because I've seen this stuff like all over the place with
more. But the thing is with these pools, they're timed, right? So they're not all of them are going to go on forever. That's why the APYs are a little higher on them. And so the more you have a token, the more you're going to get. So I just scanned to log in. That way I can show you some of these.
You can, if you're comfortable, if you want to, there's a share button at the top bottom and you can share your screen and walk us through it if you want to. And then after we look into this, I've seen Vince come up in the comments multiple times.
No, not Vince. That's my homie.
And I want to hear the story behind that after.
What is your relationship with crypto, Vince? The man responsible for like a $200 million PulseX pool.
So I met Vince on Cabana Crypto, and Vince told me how Pulse Chain got its name. He was nice enough to tell me about how that happened, and then Vince and I just became friends.
I've seen him come up several times in the chat over here.
He got a link for this. He got a link for this, by the way. But he's in no show. He's probably in somewhere.
He's shy.
You invited him on?
What?
I invited him on. Yes,
he invited him on.
I think I also invited one other Dollar Cost Crypto on. You ever heard of Dollar Cost Crypto?
I have.
Yeah, he's a friend of ours. So he's been on the show before. He's a cool guy. He knows a lot. Anyone who's not following Dollar Cost Crypto for some good information on YouTube, I suggest you do so. Let me pop this up real quick.
Oops, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go back to it. All right. So for example, this is my marketing wallet, so I don't care that anybody sees it. So it'll show, this is like the one pairing. All right. So it'll tell you what the daily APY is and the amount of stakers, and the annual APY is over here, 108%. Like X-Rain, this one's the X pair, it's ecosystem, but they're really cool. So you'd want to check out their project. It's going to tell you how many people are in the pool for it, the APY and stakers. So I just found out right before, and I can walk you through this because I just picked this up right before the show started. XVR. Right? So I want to stake this. I just picked up a little bit because I want to see what happens to it, right? And so I'm going to stake that. And if I have something else staked, it's not going to
what is that on that one you were just said you're going to stake? Okay. And this one right here. Can you walk me make that expand it? Okay. So what is this going on right here? It says base token XVR.
Yes. So
reward token STX.
This would be my Verse X, right? This is the one I'm getting that's that augmented reality. That's the Metaverse project and the Web3 e-commerce project. And once you see, I mean, their characters and everything in this too, it's freaking amazing. If you own 8 of the X-Men character that they have, you can open up a store. But anyway, so the daily pool size is they're going to give away 10,000 of these tokens every day. There's only 524 stakers right now. That's not anything. So that's easy to get in on. But I'm going to pair it with STX. That's the rewards token that I get from this bad boy every day. So I earn STX in this every single day. So I'm going to stake my STX against that XVR right here. And I'm going to stake all of it because I want to get as much as I can of it. The annual APY is 86.75%, but I can seriously see this going up with the with what they're building.
So you have that other pair, and is this a DEX or is this just a staking thing?
This is just a staking, and just to be clear, there's there's this little bit of a vocabulary tiff right now. There's not actual staking on the XRPL. So these are technically rewards. We have to say rewards that you get every day, but it's our version of staking.
And so you're staking or your rewards for the pair at the top. You earn STX, kind
Yep.
of like Binance, where you earn cake or something, and then you can take your cake and stake that into a pool,
Yes.
or pair it with something else to earn more cake or something. Kind of like, is that okay?
Yep. So I'm going to pair it with this to earn more of the STX, and then I'm going to end up probably putting my STX to something else, or I can cash out to XRP if I want. So then I'm going to click stake, and I'm going to scan this literally with my Zoom wallet. And as soon as I have it scanned, I'll swipe to accept on my wallet. And then, bam, success, it's already done. And then it shows me I'm staking 2 pools, and my rewards for that one will start tomorrow.
Oh, wow. This is super interesting.
Yeah, it's super easy to do. Like I said, you just log in with your wallet and then just go to what you want to. Like I said, these went up tremendously from like 3 XRP to now like 400 XRP for OCW. Xblade, I got in below 100 XRP, and now it's at like 900 XRP. So, I mean, and then STX, I think it's worth 0.02 to 0.03 XRP right now.
So
it's gone up as
is
well.
this on that? If you go to that's the initial pair that you're earning STX on, this top one, OCW.
Yeah,
Blade.
that's
okay.
Yeah, Mac Daddy, and you can see they're just going to keep this pool going.
What is the benefit of OCW? Like, what is the value prop for OCW?
On-chain whales. So what's going to happen with on-chain whales when XLS 20D launches is you're going to have it's an NFT project, and you can piece together 4 of these different chunks. Each OCW is a piece to this 4-piece puzzle that is your NFT. Now there's different tiers of that, like common, legendary, epic, etc. I don't know exactly how their tiers go, but they have ultra rare ones, and they're going to earn you more. So I don't know how they're going to tweak that exactly with the staking, but it's just an NFT project. And Xblade is the same. It's an NFT project, but it's really cool. It's a gaming where you are with your friends. It kind of reminds me of almost like a Dungeons and Dragons type feel, where, people are in their own little world together, just playing a game, hanging out. They have a super, super tight-knit community. But it's also used to earn income.
And then who puts these pairs together to pay the rewards?
So I don't know how exactly the StakeX, like how they've worked that out between them, but StakeX, Xscape NFT, who has Xblade, and On-Chain Whales are partners, and they've created the StakeX platform, and STX is their rewards token. So I know that they're into this company together. They've joined forces.
Oh, okay, interesting. And so they'll put together a pool with a certain size of like giveaways or whatever,
Yeah.
and then okay.
And then they do voting like every month. Oh, hey, Cayman Crocs, what's up? They have a cool NFT too. It's for travel rewards in the Cayman Islands. It's just super dope. But yeah, they every community, like they'll get, like, I think it's like weekly a new token will get voted in, and then there's ones that they're just going to add to it that are already on the schedule. So if I know that they're coming up, I'll go research it and I'll get it while it's cheap if I like it, because I know what's going to happen. Like, for example, Shen, who is behind Xblade, he teamed up with Happy Cats. Well, I see Happy Cats is going to get launched on here in November. That might seem like a while away, but Happy Cats is at 20 XRP right now, or 40. Why wouldn't I pick some up just to see if that goes to 400? I mean, and that
so a lot of the projects that you've been mentioning sound to be like NFTs.
Yeah, a lot of them, but not all of them.
Okay. What's one that you're excited about that is not an NFT, and what does it do?
So a non-NFT one on here, I think I saw Treasury, which I believe is mainly educational. And let me see who's on here that's not an NFT.
Cool. Interesting. There's so many dope, like, cool things that are happening in the crypto space right now.
So yeah, there really is. Chorus, that one's not an NFT, and I know people can earn that every day. I'm not exactly sure what it is. NVL, Northern VoIP, that's like some kind of an internet provider tech company out of, I believe, Ireland. Paleo coin, that's pretty niche. It's for basically paleontologists, and they're going to go around to colleges and stuff like that, and they will also create NFTs, but they're also using their coin in other ways. So I mean, that one's definitely very, very niche, but you just have to check them out. I'd say probably 75% are NFT projects, though.
Wow, that's a shitload.
Thank you. I think it's a good time to wrap up. We're getting into the weeds a little bit.
Sorry.
Jenna,
No, perfect. This is perfect.
Jenna, send him an invoice. Send him an invoice for obviously you're like the spokesperson for XRP staking now. No, I'm just kidding. It was great talking to you guys. Everyone in the chat, you kept it reasonably cool today, which is great. Absolutely fabulous. Brizology got his wrench back after sudden controversy. We gave him his wrench back, guys. 64% voted to give him the wrench back, and we got him the wrench back, guys. Jenna, thank you so much. Me and Jenna met for the first time this morning in the Twitter Spaces, and I just asked her to jump on, and that's kind of how we do it. I want to make connections. We got a lot going on moving forward. You know, everyone does. There's going to be great projects all over the place, and each one of them is different for different people, right? Not everyone wants to just have a long-term investing plan. Like that's not everyone's favorite fucking thing to do. You know what I mean? That's my favorite thing to do, but that's just me. You know what I mean? Some people want to play around, be interactive, do this, do that. I already know the market for that. I already know the volume in the gambling industry. I already know the volume in all these industries. And all decentralized currency does is make it more efficient and make more money and have better rates, really. And once you understand the market cycles, you can play it in a way that's very profitable. But anyway, I don't want to get too much into it. Thank you so much. I'd love to have you on again. And if we ever have any projects that we have to link up with XRP, I will be in contact with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being on here. I'm sorry I couldn't answer all the questions, but super fun chat.
Good job. I think everyone gained a lot of respect for because again, you know how nuanced this information is. Most people don't look up anything anymore. They just do this. They just talk.
Yeah.
They never actually look into stuff. So you pulling that up and mentioning all those features, and there's it's complicated, right? If we told you all the features in Pulse Chain, you'd be sitting here like, I can't really understand because I haven't looked at it. It's too much.
It's a lot.
So again, these are communities. These are entire ecosystems, and that's what people need to kind of understand. And I'm doing a lot of reach out to other communities while everyone else chit chats, talks, and plays with their own wiener, and yells at me and calls me a fucking scam artist for doing nothing except providing value for free. It's like I come on here and I'll talk about whatever, and people don't want to hear what their bags aren't. And I'm like, then get the fuck out of here. This is a learning space. Like this is for learning, not for whatever your fucking shit is in your brain.
You got a lot of love in the chat here, Jenna.
Huge love. You got the whole
love your community. They're great.
The entire Hex and Pulse Chain community loves you.
I love them. You guys are awesome.
And they're all super wealthy, and they all want you to be on the Pulse Chain with, even if that's through an XRP, because again, there is going to be synergy there. Just the future, I'll just keep up to date with some of this stuff. If there's any merges between the two, and I'll keep the same in my mind. And then maybe we can get cross benefit, because it's all cross beneficial because people want stuff for different reasons. Again, there's some people that wish they could put $1,000 out 5 years and maybe they get a good return on that, and that would be a little investment to them. And some people want to play a game, and some people want to have a community where they're interacting with everyone. So there's a million things in crypto, but we just want to keep everyone open-minded. I think that's the most important thing, because I can get closed-minded too really quick, and it happens because everyone repeats a narrative over and over and over again. XRP's trash. Yeah, we joke about XRP and the price chart, but again, there's still been explosive gains, probably just not comparatively to whatever other assets, because they went through a period where they're dealing with the fundamental issues of their project and the legal system. So guys, just make sure this is a safe space, nice space. Everyone be friendly all the time. I'm going to drop her YouTube down below, guys. Go ahead and just follow her up and smash that subscribe button. You should smash the like button right now, and I'm going to send you over to Cosmo Jenkins guys. He's streaming. I haven't seen him stream in a while, so jump over there. Throw so many biceps in the chat. How many biceps can you throw in Jenkins' chat? Throw them in there. Thank you so much, XRP Jenna. This has been absolutely amazing.
Thank
you. Great to meet you.
What a
I thought
pleasure.
we were gonna flex. I don't have to flex.
Oh no, flex.
Yes, you definitely need to. There you go.
There we go.
Yes. Sweet.
I hear, guys.
See you guys.
All right, have a great day. We'll do an outro song. Outro song.
Young folks, you tripping on them motherfucker.
Richard Heart. Richard Heart.
Bought my hex from the fucking start. .1 every day we mark. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the hex, here's mooning. Looking at wives they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pull chains out, now get me a check. He's gas up and it got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Richard Hart.